We start part 2 of the unofficial weekend right where we left off. Greg tempting fate with a pulled pork sandwich.
Alright, so we made it to the Table Rock picnic area of the road, the access road there, headed up now. You roughly could see Table Rock off in the distance, but really hard probably to get on camera. But hopefully up here, we'll get a good view of it at some point, because it's pretty cool. I have a video that I'll link up in the corner here to my old Highway 105. We go over the ridge on the other side of the Linville Gorge, so the west side. This is the east side of the Linville Gorge, so kind of new to me, and been wanting to try this road for a while. Kind of glad I get to do it today.
As I reached about a third of the way up, I had already forgotten about that pork sandwich Greg had and started to question the choice I made about a soda I drank. Apparently sweet and fizzy is not something I needed. The climb on Table Rock Road is roughly 13.5 miles, right at 3,000 feet of elevation gained. The overall average of the climb is just shy of 4%, but some parts did hit the double digits. Unfortunately, there were no epic views like there was on Old Highway 105, but this was a lot easier climb, just super long. Table Rock Road ends in a neighborhood on pavement just at the top of Gingercake Mountains, and from there we proceeded to head back to the cabin. After we got back to the cabin, we had a quick shower, headed off to get some Mexican food, and we called it a night. The overall route was just at 68 miles and just a little less than 8,000 feet of elevation. And Table Rock Road was a nice change of pace from previous unofficials that I have attended. So here we are on day 3. I laid in my tent the night before and had pretty much talked myself out of the ride. That morning, I got up with full intentions of just hanging out by the cabin or driving up the Blue Ridge Parkway for a short hike somewhere. But as I started to eat breakfast, I just couldn't bring myself to not do the last ride of the weekend.
It's probably a third of the climbing on the Blue Ridge Parkway we're doing right now. Heading up to 221, just a hair under Grandfather Mountain. So views will be really nice. From there, we'll take Edgemont all the way down into Mortimer, past the Old Betsy's store, and head on up Pineola. Blue Ridge Parkway, down to Gregg, down to Mortimer, and just before Mortimer, we're gonna go climb that slushy mess of Pineola. Ought to be fun. Started the climb on Pineola, and it is damp. It's definitely wet. We'll see how that top is. It was soup on Friday. Maybe it's less soup, I don't know. I've been fighting Casey off on this climb for a while, but I think he's about to overtake me on this steep little pitch.
I think we all had personal best on the Pineola climb today. It is a 9-mile climb with 2,200 feet of elevation, which Strava has it as a Category 1 climb. But after a quick regroup at the top, we headed on back to the cabin.
So this concludes our 2023 unofficial weekend. We got back to the cabin, packed up, cleaned up, and headed back down the mountain, back home. As always, it's wonderful to spend the weekend with folks that not only push me as a cyclist physically, but push me to be a better person. You've made it this far, so go ahead and click that like button if you like the video, subscribe, and there will be a link in the description on membership to the channel, which will get, right now, you access to videos before they drop to the public. As always, I appreciate the support, and I hope to catch you on the next adventure. Cheers.
Man, I tell you, every time he goes on an adventure, he always leaves me behind with trying to figure out how to get things like tubeless tires and sealant and all that kind of stuff on a road bike. I don't know what to make of this at all, but you know what? Virgil Dean will survive. By God, I'm going to be out there next time and shredding the gravel instead of him. You stay tuned for that. Oh, doggy.